Yo ho ho! So today I'll be doing a book review on Uzumaki by Junji Ito. This is the first horror manga that I've ever read, and it is something that I'd been wanting to read for quite a while as I found the synopsis of the story utterly intriguing. It takes place in a small Japanese coastal town called Kurizuku, which is cursed by spirals. Now I know you may be thinking, cursed by spirals, how is that anything horrific? Once you actually start reading, you realise that this story is going to take you on a roller coaster. It follows Kiri and her boyfriend Shuichi, who are the first to discover that there's something wrong in the town, who then go on a mission to unravel the mystery of the spiral. At first, the curse is very insidious, and it takes form in a simple obsession for Shuichi's father, Mr. Saito, who becomes obsessed with the pattern of the spiral. At first, it seems like nothing, but then as it progresses and gets more aggressive, Mr. Saito stops going to work. He starts collecting anything spiral related. He will sit and stare at the pattern for hours, and it gets very, very creepy. Once a person becomes possessed by the spiral, imminent death is sure to follow. And the first death scene in this book is horrific. Junji Ito doesn't even just kind of like give you a little taste. He goes full on something out of a nightmare, and you realize, okay, so this is what this book is going to be about. I thought at first, I was like, is that it? Is that going to be the worst one? It is probably the least scary death in it, and that's saying something. Uzumaki is an extremely creative story. This omnibus edition contains 19 chapters, and each installment brings us closer to the center of the spiral. The chapters are quite episodic in nature. I found that when I was reading it, I thought that even though this book has been already turned into a film, it would work quite well as a mini-series. My favorite chapter was definitely the hospital chapter with the pregnant women. If you've read this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Up until that point, I didn't think it could get any worse. But when I read that chapter, I was like, it got worse. This is actually disgusting. It was everything I hoped it would be and more. Honestly, I absolutely loved it. Each chapter explores a different area of the town or a different person in the town, and how the curse is progressively getting more and more aggressive and just absolutely destroying the town. At times, I found the artwork to be utterly beautiful, very softly drawn, very stylized, and not your typical manga art, simply drawn in black and white. At other times, it was utterly horrific, and I found myself thinking, how in the hell is someone able to come up with these ideas? How is someone able to draw something this grotesque? The death sequences are just completely nightmarish, and even though they are grotesque, they're still very beautiful. The detail in the artwork, it's just very perfect looking. Overall, I found it a completely compelling, addictive read. I binge read this. I haven't binge read anything in such a long time. Each time I had to put it down, I couldn't wait to jump back into the story to see where the next chapter would bring me, and I couldn't wait to find out where the story was leading. The book certainly got an ending. It was all leading to this massive build-up, and though it was confusing and just weird, you thought, okay, I'm okay with that ending. Some people may not like the ending, some people may be very let down by it, but I thought it was an appropriate ending. So if you're into horror, I certainly recommend that you read this. It's a story that just leaves you wanting more. I'm definitely going to pick up more of Junji Ito's work in future. He's got a few more of these omnibuses of his other stories out now, which I cannot wait to pick up, and I recommend that you pick it up in this omnibus edition because it's very sturdy. So that has been my review of Uzumaki by Junji Ito. I couldn't recommend it enough. It really blew me away, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. Goodbye.